What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 6 of the greatest podcast on turf. I'm Ryan.
I'm Anthony.
And for today's episode, the playoffs is going on right now, so we're going to be talking about throwing out some of our NBA playoff hot takes. I got a lot of them, so.
If you guys watched last week's episode with our boy Sam, you know what this guy's all about. This is Ryan Kellerman, we like to call him. But don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the links below for the podcast this week. We did our NBA first round of playoff predictions. We know what's going on right now. We know that Bryn Forbes is going for a career high right now. The Heat are getting annihilated by the Bucks. We're dropping it anyway. We're going to send it. Like, subscribe, show us some love. Got 2 exclusive segments again this week. We're trying something new. You guys seem to like it. We've been putting up some decent numbers, so we're going to keep with that. And let's get another argument. So to start this one off, a lot of people, you saw the episode last week. You saw how high Ryan is on the Brooklyn Nets. So honest to God, one of my hot takes is that Brooklyn could see a second round exit. I don't have analytics and numbers and all that stuff, but the proof is in the pudding. The Brooklyn Nets are going to have to play Giannis and the Bucks, who Giannis seems very mad at everyone right now. He's doing his thing. They got, what's the guy's name that's going? I keep forgetting.
Middleton or Drew?
No, the other guy. Bryn Forbes. Bryn Forbes scored 14 in 6 minutes, all right? Chris Middleton made his biggest playoff moment ever. His first one ever, and he's been in the playoffs so many times, ever the other night. Or he's going to have to play the Heat, who haven't looked very good. Bam Adebayo's look kind of sorry. Jimmy Butler's going to do his thing, and Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and the rest of the supporting cast are big question marks. But the proof is in the pudding. Brooklyn has an easy first round playing an injured Celtics team. Jason Tatum can't do it by himself. Kemba's not Kemba Walker we're used to, and Jason Tatum just can't do it by himself.
You didn't even mention the good Celtics.
Who?
Time Lord and Marcus Smart.
Anyways.
Time Lord had 9 blocks in 22 minutes.
Good
Set
for
the record.
Time Lord. Good for him.
Thank you.
But
give him some respect.
Giannis gave Brooklyn a run for their money last time they played. Regular season or not, Giannis scored like 50 points, I think he scored. Giannis gave Brooklyn a run for their money. They couldn't stop him. With KD on the court, with Kyrie on the court. Okay, Harden wasn't there. I don't really care. I think Brooklyn could see a second round exit. I think it's a legit possibility. I think if Milwaukee keeps playing how they're playing right now, they're stomping the Heat. They're about to go up 2-0. They're already up 1-0. It's like 79-51 at halftime, I think, right now in Game 2. I think Milwaukee has a shot to beat Brooklyn, honestly.
Well, I'll just go ahead and jump into mine as an argument to his. I think the Brooklyn Nets will lose 2 games in this whole Eastern side. They'll lose 1 game to the Celtics, where Marcus Smart just doesn't miss.
Yep.
Jason Tatum probably puts up 40. Time Lord probably has 20 blocks.
It's usually how it goes with the Celtics.
That's how it goes. And then they'll lose to probably the Bucks or Heat 1 game just as a whatever.
Wow.
And then they'll go and sweep the Sixers. And then they'll go probably...
This guy's terrible.
They'll probably go and push LeBron to Game 7 and probably end up losing it. Most likely. But anyways, if you look at the Nets, they have the best 3 players in the East. They arguably have 3 top 5 players in all of basketball. I think that's enough to say right there. And pretty much. Even the bench is pretty deep in terms of they got some veterans. Blake Griffin's going to throw up a good game in playoffs. He has to. He's going to throw up at least 1.
God awful.
Jeff Green is a veteran going to throw up a decent game. Are you serious right now? Claxton is...
Claxton? I don't
Claxton's
know who
Claxton.
I don't even know who Claxton is.
But if you look at KD, Harden, and Kyrie... if you look at KD, Harden, Kyrie, they're the best people in the whole Eastern side. They're going to just walk through these guys.
No, absolutely not. You're out of your mind. Tobias Harris, heard you on the podcast last week, heard you bashing him, and he went out and scored 40.
I really
37.
hope. I'm proud that he can score 37 on Hachimura.
Yep.
I'm
on
proud. I'm so proud of him. I don't even want to get started on that game. That was a bad game. That was a horrible game. The Nets are going to run through them guys.
Absolutely
because
not. You're out of your
KD
mind.
is going
Who can guard Embiid? No one's going to guard Embiid. Who are they putting on Embiid? MVP Embiid.
Who are they putting on KD?
Ben.
Who are they putting on Harden? Danny Green.
No. Probably Danny Green.
They put on Kyrie.
Who they put on Kyrie? Seth Curry. You saw what
There
we
go.
You know what the Currys do to
I'll tell you right now.
the Kyrie.
Embiid he's going. I'll give him 50.
Kyrie always does good against the Currys in the playoffs.
Embiid, I'll give him 50. You know, I'll just give it to him.
Yep.
Ben Simmons only scoring like 10.
With 12 rebounds and
I'm
14, 15
He's only scoring
assists.
like 10.
Okay.
Danny Green, he ain't no
Tobias
scorer.
Harris is going to strap Harden. Then that puts...
He'll probably get shut down by KD.
Okay. Then Embiid's going to go for 50 and a win.
If he goes for 50, you still won't score 100. That's a problem.
What are you talking about?
No.
Tobias
will
Harris.
get shut down by Kevin Durant.
Who?
Tobias Harris
what
is
guard
over-
on that
Tobias
team is guarding
Harris-
Ben? What guard on that team?
He
guarding
averages
Ben?
14 points.
Okay.
No,
14
anybody
points.
can guard him.
No.
Literally anybody.
No.
I can guard him.
No. Stop. Ben Simmons. If you play Ben Simmons one-on-one, Ben Simmons will give you 21 to the face, and there's nothing.
It's
you can
like
do
this. Tobias Harris is not a superstar. The Nets have 3
Stop
top
it.
5 players. Okay, let me ask you a question.
What?
Is LeBron James a superstar?
LeBron James is the greatest basketball player ever.
Okay, is James Harden a superstar?
Yes.
Is KD a superstar?
Yes.
And we're putting Tobias Harris in the same tier as James Harden and KD.
There's different tiers of superstars.
Oh, there is? What are they called?
You got like the future Hall of Famers,
No.
the GOATs, the
No.
best in the league. Then you got the mid-tier superstars, Tobias Harris, guys of that
No,
nature.
no,
Then you
no.
have just the all-stars, and then
There's
the role
super,
players
there's,
and the bums.
there's superstars James Harden. And
Listen.
there's all-stars Tobias Harris.
Listen, I'm sick of you hating on my Sixers. You need to give them some respect. And like we saw the other night, Tobias Harris heard you. He's going to keep giving them 40 a night. He's going to roll on to the winner of the Nets and Hawks.
You guys beat
We're going to roll
You guys
through.
beat the 8-seed Wizards by 7. Like I'm very proud of you.
You're not giving credit where
I'm-
credit's due, though. You're not giving Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook credit.
They turned the ball over 7 times in the last 3 minutes. It was
That's what they
astonishing.
do.
Yeah.
That's what they do because the Sixers are a good defensive team.
Yeah.
And we're going to give
Yep.
Brooklyn the work. We're going to take Brooklyn in the 6 games and beat them in 6 games.
As you guys can
Maybe
tell,
7.
Philly fans are absolutely delusional. They are the worst fans in all of the
Listen, and when the
Well-
Sixers lose, I can hop over right to the Trailblazers, my favorite player, Carmelo Anthony, and then when they lose, I'll just go to LeBron. Simple. Anyways, Sixers are going to beat the Nets. That was actually one of my other hot takes, that the Sixers are over the Nets and they're going to beat the Nets because that's what's going to happen.
No.
Ryan's just buying in all this hype. I'm not buying into it.
I'm the one buying into hype.
Yep.
When you're getting so excited because Tobias had one good game.
One good game, okay. He's getting paid and he's going to have a lot of good games.
This
So
is
is
the
Ben
first.
Simmons.
This is the first playoff game the Sixers have won since Jimmy Butler left, and now they're all just going to turn around and just go win.
Yep.
And I'm the one buying in the hype, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, because we're going to give the Wizards gas. We're going to give the Knicks gas. And then we're going
The
to
Knicks aren't going to win, but continue.
What are you talking about?
I don't mean the Hawks. Who do they have? Randall?
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Julius
Randall.
Randle, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, Nerlens Noel,
You didn't even say D Rose, but
Derrick Rose.
the Hawks have their big 3.
Who? Okay, Ice Trey. Okay, I'll give Trey on the benefit out. He's nice. He's a lot better than I thought he was. I didn't think he was going to be very good. I'll give him that. Trey Young was very good. John Collins kind of killed me in fantasy this year a little bit. I'm a fan of John Collins, though, and then Clint Capella does his thing, but I think that the Knicks are better.
No. The Hawks also have DeAndre Hunter, who's
Who?
Lou Williams coming off the bench.
Lou Will.
Gallinari, who has the best haircut in the game.
Gallinari is a sorry bum. Gallinari's terrible. Dude couldn't play back-to-back games in a regular season. He's going to get hurt. Oh, my foot's sore. I got to be
Did you
out.
see his haircut?
That's the kind of guy he is. No, I don't care about his haircut. He's
was really
god-awful. He's god-awful. All right, I'm done. The Sixers are going to beat the Nets. End of story. Ryan's a
Absolutely not.
jackass. Sixers win.
Can we get a bark sound on that?
All right, I'm going to move on. This one is kind of, I mean, these are, I guess, hot takes, but I mean, some of them are just facts. I think that the Clippers are going to lose in the first round of Dallas, and I think that they are going to blow up this Kawhi, Paul George duo. They
Kawhi's a
haven't
free agent.
done
man.
much. Is he?
I think he is.
Really?
There is a chance. I think on the last episode you were saying that the Clippers are contenders, weren't you? Didn't you say they were going to beat the Mavericks?
I said that they were contenders because they have Kawhi and Paul George. I didn't say they were going to beat the Mavericks. I actually went on Twitter when the playoff brackets came out, and I said the Mavericks win in 7, which I'm going to stick with. And the Clippers are going to – Paul George is probably going, or if Kawhi's a free agent, I don't know. Kawhi is a big question mark. But no, I think that Dallas, they looked pretty good the other night against the Clippers. Luka did his thing. Kristaps did his thing. Other guys did their thing.
Kristaps did not do his thing.
Yes, he did.
no.
Did his
I
thing.
promise you he did not do his thing.
Kristaps did his thing. And
do you want to fact check that? Because he did horrible.
Did he?
Yeah. I'm almost positive he did horrible.
Gotta figure out how to make it so like you speed it up in the video. Kristaps Porzingis. I agree with that. To defeat the Clippers, Kristaps is the X factor. I agree.
He had 14 points off of 30% and 4 boards.
Okay.
He did his thing. Anyways, I think the Clippers are going to beat the Mavericks because of the fact that they really kind of just have Luka so far. Kristaps, yeah, he's going to show up eventually, but as you can see, the Clippers really struggled with their shooting in the first half. Paul George turned it around tremendously in the second half.
Paul George is god awful.
Anyways, I mean, if you want to, Rondo was shooting lights out. So the big three of Rondo, Kawhi, and Paul George will end up beating Luka and friends, essentially. Dorian Finney-Smith just ain't going to cut it.
Kawhi, to me, is the way you see Devin Booker. I know what Kawhi has done before. Kawhi is good for his 20, 30 points. But he's not, like, he doesn't really give me the vibe he can do it by himself, really. I mean, you saw last year in the playoffs, Paul George was playing like trash, and they were trash, and they lost.
What are the Raptors doing right now? Are they lighting it up?
Listen, I knew you were going to say that. I will say, he went and did his thing with the Raptors. They shouldn't have made it. Kawhi threw up the luckiest shot in history.
What are the Spurs doing?
The Spurs weren't even good after Tim Duncan.
Kawhi won a Finals MVP with the Spurs.
With Tim Duncan. With friends around him.
Kawhi was in the playoffs with the Spurs.
I understand.
And what are the Spurs doing? What are the
you
Raptors
tell me they're
doing?
your team. The Raptors had an off year. The Raptors were hurt all year.
They might as well be sitting with me.
Raptors, Spurs, if y'all want to come on, let's go. But anyways, the Clippers, they're going to lose to Dallas in 7 games, 6 games, whatever it may be. Dallas should have won the series last year. They're going to win this year finally.
No, Kristaps clearly ain't showing up.
Kristaps will be fine. He's a little rusty for the playoffs.
And I believe the Mavericks really hit all their shots that game.
You said they really or rarely?
They really. Like, I'm pretty sure they were on from 3. And I just don't think the Clippers really were. So once that kind of equals out, you'll see the better team kind of take the step back.
I'm a Clippers hater. I think Paul George is terrible. I hate Kawhi Leonard. Rondo's Rondo. I'll give him that.
Sounds like you're a hater.
Yep.
You're getting into this next hot take that's probably pretty bad. Just
that
bad.
The Grizzlies are going to win the series, and when Donovan Mitchell comes back, Dylan Brooks is going to lock him down, and the Grizzlies are going to win.
Absolutely not.
That's my hot take.
Donovan Mitchell.
Hot take in the playoffs.
Dylan Brooks is the best player in this series.
Dylan Brooks. Did you see what Dylan Brooks did to Steph
really
Curry the
care.
other night? Did you see what he did to Steph Curry the other night?
I really don't
Sure,
care.
Curry had 40. They had him on straps.
They were double teaming him all game.
Okay.
Draymond missed a floater to win.
That was bad.
The whole paint
Did
was
you see
wide
what they
open.
did to Curry, though?
Yeah, they double teamed him to 40.
And they had him on straps. They'll do the same to Donovan Mitchell. Dylan Brooks, one of the best perimeter defenders.
The problem is they can't do this.
Yeah,
The problem is they can't do this with Donovan Mitchell because the Jazz are pretty deep in terms of guys that they have on this team. I mean, the Warriors, they had Curry. I can't really name drop anybody else on that team.
Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green.
Sorry. The Jazz, they're pretty deep in terms of Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson, Joe Ingles, who somehow just can't miss. Rudy Gobert.
I hate Rudy Gobert because
me too.
It cost me a championship in 2K.
Anyways, I think that
The Grizzlies are just as deep, though.
No.
Ja, Dylan Brooks,
No.
Kyle Anderson is
No.
playing out of his mind.
No.
Jaren Jackson, Jonas Valanciunas, I think that's how you say his
Well,
last
you
name.
named their starting 5, so go ahead and name Tyus Jones coming off the bench.
Tyus Jones coming off the bench. Grayson Allen hit 2 clutch threes against the Warriors in overtime the other night.
I think Jazz in 6.
I think Grizzlies in 6 or 7.
And I think we can leave it there.
Yeah, moral of the story, Sixers are going to go to the finals. Brooklyn's trash. The Clippers are trash. Dallas is going to win, and so are the Grizzlies.
Moral of the story is he's out of his ever-loving mind. Ben Simmons still can't shoot. He was 0 for 5 from the free throw. That's going to hurt him sometime down the road.
What's he doing in practice? Shooting free throws.
I hope
Trust the process.
Listen, if Ben Simmons is shooting free throws in practice, I hope that's a lie because he is still yet to figure it out. He's 0 for 5.
Listen.
He was 0 for 5. I don't know how you do that. I can make one. I promise you right now. If you stay me at the free throw, I can make one.
I think you're out of your mind.
I think I can make one.
I think I could. I don't think I can make one, and I think I can do everything.
I promise you I can make at least one. I can probably make 2.
Ryan's out of his mind. Ryan's what I called him earlier. Yeah, I think that's about it, though.
Yep.
You're an idiot.
All right, and that's going to wrap up this week's exclusive segment from the greatest podcast on turf. Be sure to check out our other episode where we talked about, who's going to be the next era of the NBA. Some guys are getting up there in age. LeBron James, KD, James Harden, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook.
Steph Curry.
A lot of people are getting up there. So there's some young stars that are showing up in playoffs right now. And we're going to talk about who is probably the best shot to make it.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe. I know these videos can kind of get a little intense just because Ryan's kind of a dummy when it comes to his takes.
Yep.
We don't call them Ryan Kellerman for nothing.
Yep.
But yeah, be sure to drop a like and a follow, a subscription. Click our link in the description. Check out our other videos. Keep showing us love. Check out the podcast as well, and we'll see you guys next week.
Also, be sure to check out Literally Pizzeria,
Our sponsor.
Best cheesesteaks in Delaware.
Best cheesesteaks, best pizza. Link below to our Facebook page. We're getting a website soon. Website's in the works right now. Check that out. Come get a cheesesteak made by me. You might see Ryan in here. We'll talk. I'll give you an autograph if you want. I don't know if I'm that famous yet, but we'll
$5
be there
autographs.
Free autographs.
$5 from me.
And that's why everyone will be getting my autograph and not yours.
Mine's going to be worth something someday.
So will this book. And on that note, we'll see you next week.
Later.
Peace.